Alright guys, so for this next build, what we got going on is one of the most popular builds, Apocalypse. So I mean, with the minus fire resistance when they hit, this is going to kill. Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to see at its max potential because I don't have a fire thunder charge. But you don't have to worry about fire immunes with this later on. Once you get a Sunder Charm, it's over. Because it's going to be like, they will probably need a nerf because of the minus fire res, because it's similar to the Blizzork, how it could be like, oh, take this. But anyway, so again, basic gear, nothing special. We have spirit swords and all that. It does 8k right off the bat, and then the knockback increases. This is good to spam. Lava Wave also does a mass amount of damage. So it's a pretty fun build. And then ideally you want Conviction. You want to bind with Conviction. But I also maxed out Demon Mastery for this build. And the reason I did that is so that we can maximize Consume. So when you sacrifice the Taint, you get minus enemy fire resistance and plus fire skill. But you have to keep it sacrificed. This is the time when having, 3 demons is at its best. You have one of them for Conviction, one of them for Fire Aura, and one of them sacrificed. It is a very, very easy balance. It requires little to no gear to do. All you need is the Sunder Charm, and that's it. Later on, Flickering Flame and a few others will be amazing for this build. But right then and there, this is what you want to do. So we're going to open the cow portal and see how fast we clear cows. And, no. Stop that. I don't want to use that. Not yet. I'll be doing that all day. Don't worry. So again, this is one of the most popular builds. I mean, who doesn't love a beautiful pentagram? So you just boink, lava wave it up. That taint's about to die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice him and get another. I just discovered something dirty. So apparently this is going to need a fix. I decided to take this demon just to have a demon, and he resurrected one of the Fallens. So that's pretty fucking OP. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing. I just discovered that just now. Wow. Some of the mechanics are going to probably be fixed, and don't rely on them to stay. Because there is a lot of they're testing, it's a lot of OP stuff. That's definitely one of the mechanics that's probably going to need to be removed, because if that's the case, I could just go around a bunch of Fallens, have an army of Fallens. That's crazy. Alright, so anyway, back to the build. Let's fight. What we want to do is we just want to keep them in the pentagram, and then we want to, knock them away. The good thing about the knockback, it's basically a stun as well. So, you could just, at the end of the day, keep them like that. Do I have it? Okay, I did have it. So, but yeah, you want to sacrifice one of them, and you want to keep the rest. So, basically, you get extra fire damage by having it sacrificed. You get extra life as well, and movement speed for clearing, so that's cool. You basically just want to lure them in, and you want to hit them. Switch those over. Blink. And that way I could do that when they're close, not when I'm fighting. Alright. So yeah. Oh, hello. Survivability, not the best. Thankfully I had a full rejuve right there. And I'm killing this fucker fast before he kills me. Oh, that just made my heart drop. I play hardcore, I don't play normal. So, yeah. I'd rather not die when I'm not done showing all the builds. But yeah, that is the one drawback. It is squishy. However, it also does a vast amount of damage. So you want to have their Act 5 Merc for this later on, because Act 5 Merc basically is the tankiest, and you could get Plague, which gives lower res. So you'll have Conviction, Plague, Sutter, and Flickering Flame, Phoenix. A lot of things taking away the fire res. I think this might even have the potential to possibly kill Ubers as well, because the amount of fire The amount of fire res going away is insane. But you do ideally want to keep... Ideally, you want a more meaty demon. I kind of just picked anything. Hephaestus would be ideal for this. Get a Hephaestus with conviction, and that's it. He'll just be meat tanking everything, and you won't have to worry about having to resummon your taint for the fire res. I mean, technically I don't need to do that because I don't have the Sunder activated. However, it is very efficient because it cancels out the minus res. And I probably should get the damn shield even if it's 1 point because this is a very squishy build. And it's heavy on the mana. So you definitely want... I mean, you could go without the meditation aura. I mean, that is the thing. Like, at the beginning, I guess, meditation aura. But when you have more gear, you're going to have more mana. So you won't need the meditation aura long term. But it is heavy on the mana. And ideally, you want a demon that can basically face tank. And if it has a conviction aura, huge, huge bonus. So yeah. Actually, why not? Because that was just nothing anyway. So yeah, I think it's very efficient at killing cows. I think it's definitely going to be a fun clear. It's definitely one of the most popular builds because it's not gear dependent right away. You can kill things in hell that are non-fire immune. And again, once you get the Sutter charms, fire immunity means nothing. You'll have Taint to counter the res. You'll have one of the Taints sacrificed to give you more fire damage and more minus fire res, yeah. It's all about luring them into your pentagram. Turn them into heathens. There we go. So yeah, a lot of fun things with this build. They kill cows very quickly. Just know you are very squishy. You are not... You're a mage. You are 100% a mage in this build. You need to watch out. Because if you don't do that, you're looking at dying a few times. Or just once like me if you play hardcore. Distance and maneuverability and kiting is extremely important with this. Even when you get a little bit of gear that gives you res and all the rest, it's still going to be dangerous. Because you don't have much defensives. Your summons don't last long. I mean, you could probably do Blood Oath or max a demon out if you'd like. But preferably, again, I would... Oh, he's immune to fire, of course. Of course. Gotta make it fun. But anyway, preferably, I would like to do Demon Master because it's very good, ideally, for the Sutter Charms. Because now you have... Their fire immunity is broken. Then, on top of that, you have their fire res going down when they take damage. And you have your fire res going up from the taint. Because it gives a fire aura. Now, with Flickering Flame, however, you honestly might not even need to do that. So if you have Flickering Flame, you don't need the taint because that also gives fire res and the fire res aura. And they won't stockpile. So if you get Flickering Flame, you might only need to put 1 point into this, and you'll have 2 demons if you get to 10 skills, which you most likely will. In doing so, you have 1 taint to sacrifice, and then you have your Bind Demon. And then you have basically 20 points for all the rest. So, consume... No. Yeah, I think... I gotta double check on that consume theory. Because, I mean, the max I've seen it go to when I maxed this was 20. And my friend did the same, 15 and 20. So it really, don't do consume. Yeah. I mean, I think that is the max. So you want to get 1 point into this. This Psych Ward. And from there, there's plenty of room for growth. You could meet up your demon, but that won't necessarily be a problem. There's a lot more room for, changing things up. But I preferably would like to get this So I would probably max that because at the end of the day, defense is nice, and this is a squishy build. So I would probably, after you get Flickering Flame, get some points in the Psych Ward. That way you have a little bit of defense on top of the offense. It's a pretty fun build, but it is the most popular build. But again, you're squishy as hell.